Hello, and welcome to Pressing Buttons. I'm Hugo.
I'm Nick.
It's another great week, another great episode coming at you, episode 62. Yeah?
That feels right.
Yeah, I always forget, especially because we just, we're in a new area. We're in the lounge area. Well, we're not in the lounge, but we're in the living room area.
The Pressing Buttons Lounge.
Yeah, we've done a little bit of, moving around. We're still kind of figuring it out, doing some movement. So we'll see how this works out. If it's good, we'll keep it. If it's not, we'll fix it.
That's true.
That's how things work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this area is much more susceptible to dogs.
Yeah, just dogs
invading the recording. So
if you hear,
you've been warned.
Yeah, if you hear some dogs, or if you just see some dogs, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you just see some dogs flying in front of you, don't be alarmed. Those are our furry friends. Nothing but fur podcast guys. They just like to roam while we do our shit. So it gets the numbers up. So that's good too.
There you go.
People love animal content. All right. Not much to housekeep, so we're just going to dig right into some video game news. First one we want to talk about is obviously Street Fighter 6. They had a big showcase hosted by none other than Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Which I think everyone was fine with, but it was like a little bit of a surprise. Yeah, I don't really think of Lil Wayne as being a big like FGC guy.
Definitely a big like surprise announcement as a host, but you live with it. You live with Lil Wayne hosting your Street Fighter 6 showcase. In the showcase, they did do a deep dive in a lot of the modes that are going to be coming for the game. The most interesting one, obviously, is the arena mode, where you're going to be able to walk around the city, basically do battles with people. It has RPG elements, so you can basically like do power ups, get items to increase your power, defense, or whatever, and all that stuff. Get healing items. So that looks pretty cool. They also announced the first year DLC for the characters. You're going to have Aki, Rashid, Ed, and Akuma. I thought it was 5. No, but it's 4, right?
It's 4, yeah.
Yep. Very interesting. I believe Aki is a new character. Mm-hmm. Rashid, we've had. I've only known him from Street Fighter 5. Obviously, he throws his little tornado kicks, right? He's a tornado guy.
He's annoying as hell.
Yeah,
dude.
I think that was
very fast and has annoying attacks.
That's one thing I saw a lot of on the internet. It was like fucking Rashid.
I know. I was surprised he was in year 1, but
see.
There's a few people are happy by that decision.
Yeah, but the balancing looks good, so we'll see what the meta is when it comes out. Ed, I believe we've seen before, and then obviously Akuma with his now like full circle beard.
He's got the white lion mane.
Yeah, the lion mane beard, which just looks terrible. But
you can pull it off.
No.
Yeah.
It's like a full circle beard. That just looks weird.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying you can pull it off.
I can pull off weird.
It's a compliment.
Oh, okay. We'll see if I can grow it out that much. But it looks great. Everything that they showed. Obviously, we're super excited about Street Fighter 6 since it was announced and us playing the beta, which they also announced the beta for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, which you can get right now, and it's going to be available for I believe the 360. Not 360. The Xbox went too far. Went too far. The One X and the One S and the Xbox One and PC. Yeah. No, I was trying to remember all the Xboxes. Because I don't have them.
Nobody knows.
Yeah,
it's too hard to keep up with.
And PC, so you'll be able to play it. I think we're gonna get a few rounds in once it's out on PC. We still want to practice. I want to show Nick, the little throwy bitch that he is, that he has no power over me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can see that's what the game's for. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
But obviously, these are exciting additions to the game. They had announced it before, but they did a nice little in-depth look at them. Obviously, with a lot of these fighting games that they release these days, it's not just about just the 1v1 fighting mechanics on it, or whatever, or the 1v or the 2v2 or the 3v3. You also want to have an additive so you can basically get the most you can out of the game. And I think Street Fighter is doing a really good job with the mini games, with the training tools, with the arena, and all that stuff. I'm super excited. I'm gonna wait, like I said, till the PC demo comes out and then get my hands on it and see all that stuff that they offer, because these weren't things that were available for the beta that we tried. So it's gonna be a good new experience. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Very excited. I'm in the same boat. I was almost tempted to try the demo on PlayStation just because I'm impatient, but so far I've held strong, and I'll just check it out on PC, which is on the 26th.
The 26th, yes.
Yeah, so it's just a few more days. I mainly want to wait because my arcade sticks and stuff are PC compatible. I don't have any.
Oh, and
I don't think. Maybe I could check that, but I don't think I have anything that's compatible PS5. So I kind of need to wait just for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, showcase looked great. Very impressed by the World Tour mode. It seems like there's a lot of content there, and might be the biggest single player kind of campaign or experience in a fighting game that's ever happened. So I think for me, I'm really looking forward to that mode. It looked like a lot of fun.
And you're doing some actual street fighting where you're just walking.
I mean, I love literal names to things. So you're just street fighting. Yeah. I saw some hilarious clips of just you create your own avatar, and then you go through this world, and people are just uppercutting strangers into a fight. So it's
just like New York City.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I do that all the time. No, but it looked like a lot of fun. A lot of throwbacks and Easter eggs to Street Fighter and Final Fight and other things. So I wonder what other types of things they'll throw in there as they build up that mode. Because I think they said with at least with the year one DLC characters, they'll also have a corresponding content update in the World Tour mode. So yeah, look great. I don't know. Did you see your? I don't know if it was you or if it was someone in the Discord, but someone mentioned that there's that one character from Final Fight that's actually a Dominican. He's from from Dominican Republic. I think his name's Thrash or something like that.
Yeah, some DR representation.
He's in there, DR representation.
Especially after Mena RD has won a couple of the Capcom Cups. You gotta represent.
There you go.
Super exciting. Yeah, that was one thing that also I thought was pretty cool, that they have a lot of these throwbacks for different Capcom games that are gonna be in there. Final Fight, like you said, older Street Fighter titles. Just different Capcom franchises. So it's pretty good. The support that they're showing for this, especially that it's not just a fighting game, I think it's really, really good. Also with the arena and the World Tour, it's kind of cool to see it in a sense, because we know Mortal Kombat's had that. I know they had that chess thing and mini games and stuff like that.
What was that, Crypt mode? Or I know what you're talking about. I enjoyed that. I think a lot of people didn't really love it, but I actually had a good time with that.
Yeah, so those different type of modes, it enhances the game, obviously, because you're doing much more than just the fighting. So I think that's pretty good, and it's a good. I think it's a good motivation for people to do it, to get certain stuff, whether it's cosmetics or just training or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for the training mode, just to kind of learn the moves. I know that they're really working hard on it, because they're trying to make this one the most accessible Street Fighter as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and the next thing we want to talk about is PlayStation acquiring Firewalk Studios. They're developing a AAA multiplayer game. Firewalk Studios consists of previous devs that worked on Halo, I believe, and also Destiny and Call of Duty. Obviously, we like to talk a lot about studios acquiring studios. I think a lot of our early episodes were just that last year. Because
it was Elden Ring, and then acquisitions, and then...
So definitely a lot of money being thrown around, and money keeps getting thrown around. Obviously, with Sony pushing to have more live service games, this definitely is a step up. And they've worked with Firewalk Studios for a bit, and it's just continued the relationship. I know they have a really big push, especially this year, with a lot of live service games. The acquisition of Bungie from last year rolling into this year, and all the other studios that they're trying to do. The Horizon multiplayer game that's getting released. Guerrilla's working on a bunch of things. So it's definitely a plus on their end. Obviously, Sony only really acquire studios which I feel like they're confident in. So you can only hope that they're going to be working on something great, and that they get more info soon. Any thoughts on this acquisition?
No, I mean, they must have seen something from Firewalk that got them excited and want to acquire them. Which is interesting, because we're seeing, in the last several months, we're seeing this trend in a lot of live service games and multiplayer-centric games getting shut down basically, and Sony's basically going in the opposite. You know, they're just continuing to lean in on their strategy of acquiring more studios and increasingly more of them spending time on creating live service games. So I keep quoting I think this goes back to almost a year ago when they said something about 15 live service games launched by, was it 2025?
Yeah, 2025.
Something like that. So it's like unclear whether this was part of that plan or if this is above and beyond, like an incremental, titles above and beyond that after acquiring the studio. But that was kind of like my key takeaway was Sony just leaning in on what they want to do versus trying to hit the pause button, which a lot of other publishers and developers seem to be doing.
Yeah, and it's one of those where it's like, you got to put up or shut up. I know, honestly, obviously they do want to wait until 2025 or they want to get them by 2025. But we haven't heard anything, especially from any of these studios that they've acquired or any of these titles that they're working on, live service games. So we do want to see something soon. I know E3 or the Summer's Game Fest, that whole summer announcement vibe is coming up. So we definitely hope that they do show off something. Because we do have a lot of good titles, I think, coming out during the year, but it's always the anticipation of future titles where you can get a little taste of them that kind of drives the push and the hype and all that stuff. So hopefully they start announcing like what they're actually working on instead of just saying the future.
Yeah, I mean, I've consistently been saying that over the last like 6 to 12 months, really with both PlayStation and, well, actually all three, right? So PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. I feel like they have so much studio capacity that they own and operate, and we just don't know a ton around their roadmap over the next few years. So, like we have to learn something. We're kind of like they're running out of titles, right? So I feel like it like has to be this summer when we start learning a lot around big new games coming out in the next year or two. Yeah,
it is kind of weird that. I mean, you could see it's probably maybe from the lawsuits or stuff like that, and them just not revealing a lot of stuff during that time, but that it's taking so long for things that they've kind of announced before they get officially released. But hopefully we'll hear more about it soon.
Yeah. Also, because you mentioned it, also kind of ballsy for Sony to be like, I know we're going through this like antitrust thing and with Microsoft acquiring Activision, but we're just going to continue acquiring shit.
Doesn't mean we can't spend money. Yeah. All right. Next game we want to talk about is Honkai Star Rail. Hopefully I said that right.
Honkai?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Honkai. Could be Honkai.
You're saying Honkai?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Honkai.
Honkai?
Like honk?
Honk? Yeah. I was like, what's a good abbreviated name for this game? And I was thinking like honk.
Yeah, there you go.
It's called honk.
Yeah. So for those unfamiliar, Honkai Star Rail is basically the next from the creators of Genshin Impact. So it's basically Genshin Impact, but in space. That is releasing on April 26th. There will be a show on April 25th to kind of showcase the game. I know it's been out, or not out, but just like they've showcased it before. I believe there was a beta for a little bit.
Yeah, they've had some previews for it
as well, but it's a lot of excitement. Obviously, Genshin Impact, very super popular game, so they're kind of doing the same thing, just in a different genre, sci-fi genre, space genre, and I can totally see this doing super gangbusters, though I still will probably not play this. I was not like a big Genshin Impact. I think it was more the aspect of like kind of grinding everything out that I didn't want to step into, because obviously then I would become addicted, and that would not be good for me.
I was going to say, I was like, but that's exactly what you do.
Yeah, so
I thought it would be a perfect match for you.
Yeah, I saved myself before I became addicted and did not play this. I am looking to, what's the Zone Zero?
I think that's right. I put Triple Z.
Triple Z, which is their other game, which kind of looks like more right up my alley. I think if I do want to dive into any of these, what's the publisher?
Hoyoverse?
Yeah. If I want to do any sort of Hoyoverse type games, I think it's going to be that one. So I'll wait out for that one. But this does look pretty good. The mechanics of basically Genshin, just in space. A lot of characters that you can play with.
And turn-based.
And turn-based,
so it's like turn-based JRPG combat, which...
It gave me a lot of, honestly, Phantasy Star Online vibes in terms of the aesthetic, the way it looks and all that stuff. And I can, say without kind of any reservation because I've seen the product and I know their previous product. This is probably gonna sell a lot, and a lot of people will be playing it. I know you've been looking forward to this, and it's probably the game you will be playing this week. You excited? Have you?
Oh yeah, I'm pre-registered,
Oh shit!
so I'll be checking that out. I think that and the Street Fighter 6 demo on PC come out on the same day, so I'll have to figure out how to navigate that situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you on like a Genshin Impact sabbatical right now? Like slow down? What's going on?
Yeah,
with
well, I have been, but not intentionally because of this new game coming out. I just
no content.
Yeah, well, no, I think there's a ton of content. I just the way that I've played Genshin over the years is I just kind of like go in hard for like 2 weeks every once in a while.
Yeah.
So I just happen to be like not really playing it that much right now. I imagine I'll do the same thing with Honk.
Well, you're gonna have to choose one, I think, right?
I don't know. I feel like they do these things to make them like they want people playing all their games.
Oh man,
yeah.
But can you? I mean, I think Genshin very addictive. This looks like it's gonna be very addictive. Also, it looks like it's gonna have a lot of content. So you're just gonna be burning content.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm interested in is the turn-based combat and how fun and engaging it is, and because I think this would be like the first giant free-to-play turn-based combat game, at least that I'm aware of. So part of me wonders like whether this actually like almost limits the audience because it's not like more of the
Just
action-y
action,
type combat. So, but I like turn-based combat games, so like I'm actually looking forward to it because of that. But I do wonder again whether other people will be like turned off by that.
Yeah, if it'll be popular enough to attract a good amount of people. It'll still have its community, I think.
Oh yeah.
Next thing we want to talk about is Nintendo Indie World. We're not going to go over every game. We'll give our thoughts on it. Obviously, Nintendo is still pushing a lot of indie games, especially because the Switch is such a easy device to get them on and play them on. And it was one of their big things when they officially released the Switch, where that was like their main products that they were selling, a lot of indies. And they just did a Nintendo Direct, just focusing on 20 minutes of indies. A lot of stuff in there looked pretty good. It looked pretty fun. I'm not going to say I'm going to play it just because... Why are you gonna laugh at?
No, just keep going. Sorry.
No, you gotta let me finish. Obviously, I don't play my Switch as much anymore. I do still have a big back catalog of indie games that I downloaded and never really finished. Crosscode I didn't finish. Dead Cells I didn't finish.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. So like, before I go and purchase these new ones, I would rather finish those old ones. But if you have a Switch, if you're interested, it's one of those things that I would definitely check out. We'll put a link on the show description, show notes, just so you guys can see the full videos. I saw a lot of them look interesting. I'm a big cat guy, as you guys know. And there was a couple of cat games. There was one with a cat quilt, Cats and Quilts, I think it's called. And there was one where you kind of play as a cat, like not as graphically accurate as Stray, but so we'll check those out. The Call of the Lamb DLC, that looked pretty good too. And obviously with all these indies, they have different aesthetics, so I think that's pretty good. Maybe down the road I'll download one and then just kind of talk about it here and give my thoughts on it. Any indies that
why wouldn't you just get it on PC?
Because it's the Switch, man.
The Steam Deck, you got a Steam Deck.
Yeah, but I gotta have my Switch for something.
Breath of the Wild. Or Tears of the
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
I was gonna say Breath of the Wild. I already played that.
Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't know. I just want to support the Switch, man. I know you still have your anti-Switch agenda, but I don't.
I'm ready for the next platform or system from Nintendo. That's all.
Oh, well, they're making so much money on Mario, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and they're gonna make much money.
Maybe they're done with games now.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. They're not gonna make another Switch. I mean, they will, but they don't need to.
Yeah.
We'll see. But you got to support the games. The next thing we want to talk about is Immortals of Aveum. It's a new single-player, first-person game. It is developed by Ascendant Studios, and it's going to be released under the EA Originals brand, which, if you're familiar, Wild Hearts, which was also published by EA, was actually made by one of Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo?
Yeah, one of their studios. So EA is out here. I know they have a lot of franchises, but they do like to publish under the EA Originals these exclusive titles. We'll put a trailer inside the show notes, but basically it's a first-person magic game. You're able to control these different powers. The story trailer looked kind of weird. You know, you're a magic guy.
So Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, you're the chosen one of magic or something. But I did like the first person aspect of it. Reminded me a little bit of BioShock. Reminded me a little bit, obviously, of the arcane games like Dishonored and stuff like that. But just with heavy magic reliance and just doing different moves with magic and stuff like that. They're saying that the campaign is going to be about 25 to 30 hours, so that, you know, for a first-person shooter, that does sound kind of good. But the main thing I take from this is just EA is not known for their single-player stuff, and also that big controversial statements a while back where they were like, we don't care about single-player games, they don't sell or whatever. But they have been taking chances. They have been publishing these games from these EA original titles and other studios and just pushing the single player agenda. We have Jedi Survivor coming out next week, so they're really, you know, you can see that they're pushing the single player agenda. Now they're more for it. The data does show that people like single player games. I like single player games when I'm bored of my multiplayer games. So have you gotten a chance to look at this? No?
No.
Okay, moving on. No. But seriously, check it out. I'll show Nick what it looks like. But it's just something different. Definitely, if you've been itching for maybe a new IP or something like that, I would definitely check it out. Or just wait till it's on Game Pass or discounted or heavily discounted.
Definitely waiting for it to be on Game Pass.
Or EA Pass. If the EA Pass that's bundled along with Game Pass might be available.
Yeah,
there.
I'm imagining they would do a similar release strategy as Wild Hearts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. And then the last thing we want to talk about, Dead Island 2. So Dead Island got released after such heavy delays, but it actually got good reviews. Usually with these titles that get delayed for so long and you don't see a lot of stuff about it, they turn out to be crap. This game, obviously, you know, nobody had it on their Game of the Year contender or anything like that. There weren't high expectations. I think it was just more of the fun aspect of being on an island, doing the chopping and different things of zombies and all that stuff. Very similar to Dying Light, which also got released, I believe, last year. Dying Light 2. So very kind of similar games. Just open world, fun, do whatever you want to do, very traversal heavy. But it got good reviews. Everybody that I've talked to on Discord has been enjoying the game itself, to a very heavy surprise. It's one of those where, like, down the road, I can see myself playing it just because I did have a lot of fun with the first one, just going around, multiplayer aspect of it with your friends and doing open world stuff together is pretty fun. Any thoughts on Dying Light? I mean, Dead Island.
Dead Island 2?
It's...
You know, I think, so it also was on my radar. I don't think we've ever talked about the game on the podcast. Maybe mentioned it once as like a game that's coming out. So it certainly wasn't on my radar. A lot of people have been pleasantly surprised by it. So I think it was a similar situation where it wasn't on their radar. They ended up playing it and really having a good time with it. So I think it's a case of people just had pretty low expectations, and then the game came in being pretty good. You know, it's not like, I don't think it's like game of the year, but I think it's getting like 7s and 8s, and which
an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, which for me, it's like I'm happy to play, you know, those games if they're fun. So I think based on a lot of the positive reviews and impressions that have been coming through, it's now on my radar, and I think I have it as I don't know exactly when I'm going to get it, but because it's a multiplayer game and it's just kind of like a fun, just like run around and beat up zombies type game, like I think that's definitely a good like game night game night candidate for sure. So I just got to figure out when and how I acquire it.
Yeah, and who else is gonna acquire it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, like who's gonna pull the trigger and kind of get in on that island? But that is kind of good. Like we said before, the big one that we were waiting for, Redfall, obviously, but with all the previews that it's gotten and the whole 30 FPS thing and all that stuff, it has kind of soured us on that. So Dead Island could be a way out.
Yeah, I think there was a switcheroo here where I think a lot of people had higher expectations for Redfall, low expectations for Dead Island 2, and
Yeah,
there might be a bit of a role reversal.
yeah. So we'll see about that. All right, so that does it for all the news that we want to talk about. It was a very slow week, but we're here to cover what we find interesting. So we're gonna move on into some closing thoughts. Video game wise, for me, I haven't really been playing a lot this week. Just it's kind of a lull state. Just kind of waiting for the next big title. Jedi Survivor's coming out on the 24th, and I think that's gonna be my main next title that I'm kind of waiting on. So I've just been playing some Fortnite, grinding some levels. They have the Attack on Titan skin, so
I saw that.
getting them challenges so I could get some Aaron skins, and obviously still playing Destiny, doing the weekly stuff, and a little bit more of Sackboy, a nice little platform.
Sackboy?
Yeah, a nice little platformer. It's free on PlayStation Plus, so. Yeah, I was bored. So that's as far as I've been on gaming. I have been watching a lot of TV and movies. One show that just restarted back up is Gundam, which from Mercury. Last time, from what I was saying on my little mid-season review, that it was more of like a school of Gundam battles where there was really no violence and horror, and it was just mock battles. Where the last episode of the first half of the season kind of went super hardcore, and there was a lot of killing in that one. I think the new season so far, with the 3 episodes in, it definitely has stepped up the violence. There's been a lot more murdering, so that's pretty. I'm not gonna say it's pretty cool, but it has.
Now I'm interested.
Yeah, it has picked up the tone of regular Gundam shows, where it's just kids suffering these tragedies. Yeah, these kids suffering these tragedies and doing these crazy things in the wars. So check it out if you haven't. I'll do my full end of the season review when the season's over, but definitely enjoying the heck out of it. I also watched 2 movies, Quantumania and Creed 3. Not because of Jonathan Majors, whatever those allegations are, that had nothing to do with why I watched them. Quantumania, I was able to watch it because it got released online, so it just kind of reinforces my idea of Marvel fatigue. I'm over all these Marvel movies, man. It's just, you watch these movies, but just so you could, in anticipation of the big team up that's going to come down the road kind of thing, or whatever the teasers are.
But we don't even know what that is.
We don't know what that is. And
like, if you're a comic book nerd, maybe you know more like what to expect out of Secret Wars, but
it's just I think they probably, in my opinion now, especially in hindsight, after Endgame, I think they should have just kind of done away with trying to connect everything and just do standalone, because it's just like I have no interest in seeing any Marvel movies. Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out next month, and whatever's coming out, I don't even know the slate for the schedule and all that stuff.
Marvels? I think that's the other
I'm
one.
not interested in that either.
Yeah.
So it's Marvel fatigue has definitely hit me. I know it's hit a lot of people. It's just very bland movies now these days. There's no interest to kind of see them, the characters themselves. There's I can't say too much. I can't say anymore because it's not bad. But the other one I watched was Creed 3, just because I've been hearing a lot about it, and I've watched the first 2, but I was able to finally see Creed 3. I'm a big anime fan, and I know Michael B. Jordan is also a big anime fan. He directed this one. He took a lot of influences from animes, the main one being Hajime no Ippo, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's a boxing one. The manga has over 1,300 chapters, I believe. They did 2 or 3 animes consisting of like 40 episodes and 26 episodes and such on. But it takes a lot of inspiration for a couple of the fights off of that, which I find really cool, because Hajime no Ippo is one of those rare sports mangas or animes that I feel like they do have like the special moves, but it's just like boxing moves like a southpaw and an uppercut and all that stuff. It's just magnified. But shout outs to him. You know, anime was never really mainstream, and I know he's said a lot of stuff before where people used to clown him because he watched anime or because he liked anime. But now that anime is more mainstream, it's good to see that it's able to be brought up in such a blockbuster movie. So check it out if you haven't. Definitely some good fight scenes. And that's it for me on my closing thoughts. What about you?
So you didn't finish Mando?
No,
No, not yet. Okay.
I didn't even watch. I'm gonna
Oh, you
watch
haven't
it.
even started it.
No, yeah, because I started watching. I was watching other stuff. You could talk about
Okay,
it though.
okay. No, I'll just mention that
I got spoiled on the internet, by the way. Yeah,
pretty much everything. Yeah, like all the cool stuff that happens,
Yeah.
which there's not like that much of, but like the few cool things that happened,
yeah.
they just kept
that-
getting spoiled, which was annoying.
That is the drawback of just waiting to binge everything, especially if you're kind of online.
I feel like
you'll
it's
see the
gotten worse. I
spoilers
feel like
everywhere.
I've been able to like successfully avoid major spoilers for things, but something's happening. I don't know, maybe it's because
Twitter's
is
fucked. Yeah,
shittier now, and I think it's basically either Twitter or YouTube. Like, there's been tons of channels that just like
just throw it
show up
out
in my
there.
recommendations of just like spoiler in the title of the video with like a screen grab. I'm just like, how is this getting?
Thanks for ruining.
Yeah. So like I have to like mute all these channels and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll just wait until you.
No.
Watch it.
You could give your thoughts.
Yeah. So I watched it. Pretty weak season overall. I think there was maybe like 2 or 3 episodes.
And you were doing a weekly watch.
No, I just
Most-
kind of watched it and like whenever I had
In
some
chunks.
free time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just kind of watched it at like 2 or 3 episodes at a time, something like that. Yeah, I mean it's definitely it was a bumpy ride. Like
Oh.
there was like 2 or 3 episodes that I thought were like at the same level of quality as prior seasons,
Mhm.
but maybe that's not even, I don't know if quality is even the right word, but like they were just like entertaining and
Yeah.
something cool happens. But I feel like they're just trying to figure out what they're doing with the show. And
Well, they're trying
There's
to
a-
connect everything these days too, which is the other big thing. Ahsoka's coming out in the summer, I believe, and they're trying to do other live action stuff and kind of wrap everything up with a big movie too, where they wrap up.
yeah,
the
what are they
Mandalorian.
gonna what
Like,
are they
it's-
gonna do with like that? Like
It's too much.
when I heard that, I'm just like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. So I've been a pretty big Mando fan. I thought this season overall was like disappointing. There was a few fun moments, but like not much that gets me super excited about it, like a next season. And like who knows what that is even going to be. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this season, like I said before, usually if the show is good enough and I'm putting it off until the season's over and I hear enough good things, then I immediately start watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing that I heard from Mando this season kind of drove me to be like, yeah, I must watch it now,
Yeah.
type of thing. So I do feel bad for that. And I kind of feel bad for recommending you to watch Andor because I feel like once you do watch Andor, you'll be like, every other Star Wars show is shit. And I should only
Well, you
have
said
Andor.
that. You said that before, and I think a lot of people said that before
Yeah, but-
I watched like the new season or the current season of Mando. You're like, oh yeah, that show's garbage compared to Andor, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna like. So
Yeah, but now I feel bad because then you'll be like, you had the good stuff, and
that's fine.
now
that's
you gotta
fine.
wait until 2024. I gotta wait until 2024.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll check out Andor. I think
Yeah.
it's
time.
coming up. It's coming up.
time.
Yeah,
Well, you've been talking about that for months.
it's coming up.
What what else?
Yeah, so that was really it on the TV front. On games, maybe similar to you, where it was actually pretty light. I just dabbled a little bit in Fortnite. What I spent most of my time on is actually on the YouTube. You'll see a glimpse of the new setup.
If
So,
you're watching this,
yeah, so that actually took several days of relocating my gaming setup and just kind of shuffling around a lot of things in the apartment. So that's what I've been up to. So it wasn't fun, but it's basically done. I just got to do some cable management stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it looks
I think you did a really good job for just doing it in a couple of days.
Yeah,
so.
it looks pretty good, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I think we'll definitely jazz up the YouTube camera, like background and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But for everything else, it actually looks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, the main thing was being able to set everything up and do our usual recording and then release that and then obviously tweak it up as the weeks go along
Yeah.
to perfection because we are nothing if not perfectionists.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was honestly like 10 p.m. yesterday where I actually had a functioning gaming setup after several days. So I think this week is going to be a big week, right? So
Big week for games.
Yeah, so Street Fighter, I think I mentioned this already, but yeah, Street Fighter 6 and Honk
And then,
Star Rail.
and then Jedi for me.
Maybe, yeah. So I think if I end up not really enjoying Star Rail, maybe I check out
Jedi,
Survivor, yeah. That's kind of how I'm going to play the week.
Gonna need some hard drive space with that. And I know you're always low.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 155 gigs
Dude.
to be exact. So yeah, be wary
That's
of
going to be tough, man.
Be wary of that, whoever's looking to download this.
Can you even, I think I saw something about like, if you buy a physical version.
You still got to download it.
Yeah, like it kind of like
What's the point of digital?
defeats the purpose. Yeah.
What's the point of
Which I think,
physical?
I always think there was, there's always some version of you have a physical copy and there was
They just
downloading some files.
a small
but,
amount.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be pretty extreme.
Rico.
Well, you got to add something there at Rico?
Oh, he is not happy with those file sizes.
Okay, yeah. He must be a cloud gamer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, that does it. Pretty short episode, but we like to say what it is.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounded horrible. All right. That's how you know it was a slow episode. No, but
I think the
thanks.
big learning for me is like this couch is wildly uncomfortable to sit on for extended periods.
We tried to go for a little late night vibe. Maybe it didn't work. We'll probably go back to our
I
chairs.
need to go to a chiropractor after this.
We'll probably go back to our chairs. We're still tweaking it, so if you're watching this on YouTube, keep up and give us any suggestions. But thanks again. Make sure you guys are following us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever your social media of preference is. And make sure you guys are going to our website, pressingbuttons.gg, to support us. Appreciate the support. Keep it coming. And we'll see you on the next episode. I'm Hugo. Bye.
I'm Nick. Later.